let me go on to something more important, and that's what I really want you to spend some time on, which could be very, very interesting and useful to many others who aspire to do something like what you're doing in their careers. What do you think are the real differences, or what do you feel are the real differences between the marketing or the experiences you are having as a marketing professional at Akshayakalpa vis-a-vis, let's say, some of the more corporate firms that you have worked in earlier? What are the key differences that you really feel?
So again, I think it goes back to values. I think at Akshayakalpa there is transparency is huge. Akshayakalpa works whether it is with employees or with customers. It maintains a very high level of transparency. So much so that over 10,000 of our customers have visited the Akshayakalpa farm to see what we do, to see how we grow the fodder that the cow eats, how we treat our soil, how we treat the vegetables, how we treat our cows. And on the basis of that, on the basis of that, they take the decision whether they want to or do not want to be Akshayakalpa customers, right? So that I think is one. I think the boardroom conversations, or not boardroom, but management conversations at Akshayakalpa are quite different. There's a lot of focus and emphasis on nature and farmers, and like farmer is truly our largest stakeholder. A lot of decision making that happens around the farmer. And I think the empathy that I have built, I may not have had it at all when I joined Akshayakalpa, or I had very little of it. I only looked at farmer as someone who could, who played a role in producing food. But today I see him as an entrepreneur. I see him as, someone without whom none of us can exist. Honestly, right? Because so there's a lot more respect that has developed. I'll give you an example of one conversation which happened in the initial few months of joining, which was there was a tree in our Tiptur farm, coconut tree, and which had there were no coconuts growing, or the leaves had all fallen off, and so there was a conversation in one of the meetings where the idea was to uproot the tree, right? And then there was an inspection done by Shashi, who's our founder, and he came back and said that just look at it. Though it's not giving you coconuts, there is a family of birds living in that tree. And how can we be so selfish that just because it's not giving us what we want to uproot it? So these are the kind of conversations that happen in our meetings, or for example, there was this whole conversation about a poultry farmer and how much they make on a monthly basis, and and just knowing these numbers, I think it really humbles you to know the kind of effort that is put into and for the kind of money that they make out of it. So all of those things I feel are like very different and very unique perspective, which not just helps you to grow as a professional, but I think it helps you to grow as a human. I think that's a huge difference that I have experienced. Right? Like, and another example I want to give you is, I don't think and I speak for myself, like I don't think I cared enough about food waste. For example, I would take, and then if I didn't like it, I would just, throw it into the bin. And at Akshayakalpa, that's a huge crime. You're not allowed to waste food at all. And that has brought a huge difference in the way I help myself with servings, even at home, even when I go out, so it's such transformations, small at a small level, but it happens to you at Akshayakalpa. Yeah.